Hey, what's up, everybody? I'll give everybody just a moment more to hop on here. We got a few people joining us. Yeah, so the teaser, I got the most amazing message this morning on LinkedIn of all things, and it was super cool. I want to share it. I want to share this message with you because it's pretty powerful. First of all, this is my new shirt from Originalities. Go check them out, originalities.com, local female minority-owned business here in Cincinnati. And of course, right now we're on Facebook, my Facebook page, Twitter, and YouTube, and a bunch of other places. So we have folks on here outside of Cincinnati. So I appreciate you all joining me this morning. If you're seeing this, I had some dental work done yesterday and my lip was all numb, and of course I bit the hell out of it, not knowing. So that's what's bugging me. That's what's going on there. But anyway, let me pull up this message on a LinkedIn and share this with you all. I actually talked to the person and got permission to share it, and it's a pretty cool message, pretty cool story. So let me see if I can pull it. Let me see if I can pull it up here, if I can find my messages. Yeah, so kind of the backstory, the background is, I was a cop for 26 years, a long time, and sometimes I forget about exactly how long that is. And now it's been 4 years since I've been out. So wow, almost 30 years ago when I started, was actually June of 1990, and I carried a revolver for my first year before we went to semi-automatics, which tells you it was like the Wild West a million years ago. But after I was working for a few years, I got really interested in training and working with young people. I've always kind of had that desire. As a matter of fact, there was a time in college when I almost switched my major to education and went into teaching. And so that's something that's always been an interest of mine. And so after a few years of working, and this is before I moved to the Cincinnati area, I was still up in Northeast Ohio. I actually went back to school. I got a business degree from the University of Akron, was my undergrad, and kind of was in that process when I kind of fell into law enforcement because I had no idea what I wanted to do. And my uncle was a cop. And actually, I tell this story because now what I'm about to talk about really even applies a step before that. Because my uncle, who passed away from cancer probably about 10 years ago, I knew I was kind of struggling for a career path, and he helped guide me in a way I didn't even know what he was doing. He just asked me to come and ride out with him one night. And when I showed up that first day, he was working 4 to midnight. He invited me out on a Saturday night. It happened to be July 4th. He thought that would be an interesting time for me to show up and see what was going on. I was 20, going to school, working part-time, like fast food jobs, and going to school at Akron for a business degree, but really didn't know. Well, I was just kind of struggling, didn't know what I wanted to do. And I knew he did that job, but I had never really thought that it could be something that I would want to do. And I remember, and I share this story to this day, when I showed up, he's like, wear something, kind of professional or whatever. So I put on the most cop-like outfit I could think of, like a blue button-up, some gray pants. And I come walking in wearing these aviators or whatever. And he's like, dude, first of all, you're inside. Take the damn sunglasses off. The sun's not bright in here. And he went on into this story about how he wears sunglasses when he's working. But whenever he talks to somebody, he takes them off, even on a traffic stop, whatever it may be. And that story stuck with me. And I told it to all of my cops that I trained over the years. It's something that I lived by. I never stopped the car. Always took the sunglasses off, or at least on top of the head. And the broader thing that's really getting at is you need to be able to look into somebody's eyes, allow them to get a sense of you, and you get a sense of them, and you establish it's not like this force field that's there. And there's there is a greater message there about connecting with people and the human connections that we make and that we establish, and the importance of those, especially in that line of work. So having said that, moving forward, I went back to school at Akron, was working on a master's degree in adult education because I wanted to teach, and I did teach for a number of years. I was a trainer, taught in the police academy, taught firearms and a whole range of different topics in the police academy, and also as a training officer for the departments that I worked at. And so I went back to school at Akron, and I'm working on this degree in adult education. And as part of that, you have to do like a practicum type of thing and teach a class. And so I taught a class in criminal justice at the University of Akron. This is probably, we're talking like the late 90s at this point, 97, 98. And so the class I taught was patrol tactics. And of course, you have, all the students in the class, and some of them really wanted to go into law enforcement. Some of them had to take it. They were in, social work or something else, and took it as an elective or whatever the case may be. And so taught the class, enjoyed every minute of it, went on, got my degree, and was an instructor. But I got a message today from somebody who was in that class some more than 20 years ago, who's gone on to a great career. And I actually chatted with him, and he told me that I could share this. So let me just read you his message. So his name's Dan Crispino. He's currently a lieutenant at Shaker Heights Police Department, which is just outside on the near east side of Cleveland, not too far away from actually where I grew up. And he's been promoted now and has had a great career and is actually teaching criminal justice himself, and he's now a lieutenant at his department. And so his message is, Derek, you won't remember me, but I was a student in your patrol tactics class that you taught at the University of Akron. It's probably been 20 years ago, a little bit more. And I worked a detail recently with Terry Grice from Montville Township, one of the departments I used to work at. Terry's now the chief there. I remember I hired Terry, or was involved in his hiring when I was a supervisor in Montville Township a long time ago. This is we're going way back here. And Terry's now the chief. It's crazy. And it worked a detail with him in downtown Cleveland, and it made me remember your class. I reached out to you a couple times via email back then for career advice when I was a young kid trying to get into law enforcement. You probably won't remember your words of encouragement, but I do. It has been with me many years, and I wanted to say thank you. That class was instrumental in really cementing law enforcement, police work as my chosen profession. I'm glad to see you're still doing great things and making an impact. I wish you all the best. Wow. Like, kind of almost brings a little bit of a tear to my eye. But so Dan has gone on to a great career, been promoted a number of times at his department, is obviously paying it forward, is teaching criminal justice himself now these days after getting a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, I think, as well. And here we are. So the moral of that whole story, I guess, is to say that we're having an impact on folks today in ways that we might not even know. You have that opportunity to make an impact, especially with young people. And really, it's stuff like that why, I've stayed engaged and in community work and staying involved in civic work, and just trying to share and help and wherever I can. And it just speaks to the point that, you can have an impact on, especially on young people's lives in ways that you don't even know. And it's pretty cool. So, yeah, that's the message. Sometimes folks ask, why stay involved? Why stay engaged? You could do other things. But I think whatever it is, whatever your profession is, whatever your career is, and certainly in civic life, when you have the opportunity to reach out in particular to young people, offer some kind of guidance, some kind of insight, and kind of pay it forward in that way, it just really, it's invaluable. And getting a message like that for my police career, of anything that ever transpired, or the paycheck that you got, or whatever the benefits are, something like that shows up, and it's like, cliche, makes it all worth it. But yeah, really, they're just that's just so valuable. And so think about that today. We have an impact, whether it's just a kind word, saying hello to somebody on the street, or somehow offering some value to people, especially young people today. You can have a lot of impact on their lives. So That's a story. It also brings to mind, I'm not going to share it now. This is just going to be a teaser for those of you still with us here. And thank you. I hope you're having a great Saturday. But there was a moment in time when I knew that I was going to run again after the 2017 campaign, which was a great campaign. Obviously, we didn't win. But something happened. There was a moment when I knew if I had any thoughts of say, well, you know, it was a good run, but I'm kind of over it, not coming back. There's a lot of work. I'm not going to put myself out there like that again. There was a specific moment in time when I knew that wasn't going to be the case. I was going to be back. So I will share that later. But think about who you can reach today, who you can help today. You're going to help them, impact them in ways that you might not even know. All right, everybody have a great Saturday. It's fantastic weather here in Cincinnati today. And of course, love Cincy, love Originalities, originalities.com. Check them out online or at the store in East Walnut Hills if you're in the area. Talk to you later, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.